The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Friday Live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Thank you for joining me once again on TikTok, the big guy, Ryback 22, here on YouTube and Twitch. Twitter is not letting me stream the show on there anymore till I get more information. That's the current situation on that. And here we are, guys. Happy Friday. A lot going on. Great week. We're a great week of rest and recovery for me. No weights all week. I got a couple more days off. Got a 24-hour fast coming up. And also did no cardio yesterday, today, and tomorrow, letting me before I'll start back up either Sunday or Monday, full bore. So I've got to do a feeding time video right after this. I've got some Nacho Daddy vegan nachos and a vegan chicken quesadilla, as Napoleon Dynamite would say, on the way. So I'm going to go right from this to right to the kitchen on all that. But first and foremost, as always, guys, this show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No artificial sweeteners or colors. Vegan friendly. All people can buy the products for men and women. Available on feedmemore.com. That is feedmemore.com. You can save 20%. Discount code Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20. That's Ryback Show, Ryback Show, Ryback Show 20. Ladies and gentlemen, on feedmemore.com. Good to see all of you. How's everybody doing? As always, super chats are brought up on the screen here on Ryback TV on YouTube. I highly encourage everybody over on TikTok to join me over on YouTube as well. Subscribe, turn on notifications. 1 out of every 50 people get a notification. But let's just go, guys. Let's roll with it, and let's play ball because it's feeding time. I appreciate you saying you love the feeding time videos. I love doing them too. They're a good time. I actually got a new vehicle. I posted it yesterday. I don't know what made me decide. I've been putting off going across town to Tobin Dodge. It's where I've got my other two vehicles. I used to watch their show with Chopper on when I was younger. I used to see his commercials when I was younger, and I always just appreciated the fact that he had a personality and hustled. And they're nowhere near me, but I go get my vehicles out there. So I finally we got a new Bad Panda. We have a new Rybacker. Thank you, guys. We do have different memberships available here on Ryback TV as well. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take a look at what they have and see. I was trying to get the price up on my Challenger and my truck. So, and mind you guys, I made out with a pretty sweet deal on all this. The downfall of it is I traded in my Challenger and my truck, and I don't have a truck right now, but I'm getting another one. I've got the Cybertruck, the Tri-Motor Cybertruck on reserve, and I'm going to be getting that keeps getting delayed. And that's probably not even, I don't even know if next year now. They don't, from what I've heard, I don't know if they know when these are coming out. So what I may end up doing, I'm getting some numbers back. They had a badass Hellcat truck. It's like $130K. It looked like just a destruction machine. And like it was like the gunmetal gray. And I'm going to get leasing options and maybe lease one of those for a year to hold me over, and then maybe extend it if the Cybertruck's not ready. I like to have two vehicles. I like to have a truck, and I like to have a high-performance sports vehicle. So anyways, I go in there, and mind you, I purchased my two vehicles because they came down. I got the sticker prices, and we got my truck was, I think, $50,000, and I paid just under $43,000 for it because I paid for it in full. And my Challenger, I paid off almost pretty quickly, but I got that under what the sticker price was for a bit. Also, I only paid roughly around $85,000 for those two vehicles. Right? Awesome, amazing vehicles, great features. The truck was a 2013. The Challenger was a 2015. So they were giving me the different dealerships. The truck had about 55,000 miles, and the car has about just under 23,000 miles, right? So the car, very low mileage on all that. The truck, though, 55,000, 54,000. Both vehicles in exceptional, great shape. A little work probably you have to do when they get them back, right? They're used vehicles. But I got Tobin. So I got a brand new $55,000 in total Dodge Challenger, the hell raisin purple with the black top features, the black rims. They have the little bit of additions, add-ons with it for $55K in total, right? I got them to essentially give me $65,000 back for a 2013 and 2015 vehicle. They were great. I love them. In which they ended up docking the math on how they do it on their end. I don't know how they figured it, but I essentially walk in, gave them the two vehicles, the used vehicles. I get a brand new 2021 Dodge Challenger RT Hemi V8 engine, right, in it, with a nice little warranty on it, and I walk with a $10,000 check, which is going straight to Feed Me More Nutrition. Everything goes to the business with it, and then I'm going to go lease a truck eventually if the numbers make sense. So that happened yesterday, and it was just on the whim. I'm going to go out there and see. And I go, if they give me, the point of this is I held on to these vehicles for a few months here, and the numbers, a lot of the dealerships were anywhere from 53,000 to 57,000 for my two vehicles. In my head, 65 was the number that I wanted to just get to and not under. So I went in there yesterday, and they're great. And their car dealers, their job is to get things in their favor, and my job is to get things in my favor, but where both parties win. Capitalism for good, which I explained to them. And but I didn't need the car. I was ready to leave at any point, and I just was honest with them. I go, guys, I love you guys. I'm going to come back and buy a vehicle from you. I go, I got another dealership. I think I can get up to 65K. I go, they're not there yet. And I'm just being honest with you, but I go, I think they're going to come around. Worst case scenario is I hold on to my vehicles a little bit longer. I go sell them to the other dealership for 65, and I come in and I buy a vehicle from you. I go, but they wanted the sale yesterday. And so it was back and forth a bit. I go, guys, 65, that's where I'm at. And I go, however you can make that make sense. So and then they came back. So essentially they go, however we get this to work, you get your brand new vehicle for free and you get a $10,000 check. I go, yeah. I go, however you figure that out on your end is none of my business. And they came back and they go, we got a deal. I go, we got 10K. He goes, we got 10K. I go, you got a deal. And it was there all day, but it was worth it. And I've got they gave me a free window tint. I got to go pick that up tomorrow and go take that in. And then I got all my inside stuff, accessories coming. So it was the Challenger, the old Red Devil, and the truck. They had a hell of a run, but those were my WWE vehicles. And I felt like yesterday was a cleansing of the soul of eliminating the WWE vehicles. And now we got the Hell Raisin Purple, which is a color that signifies royalty and richness and just pure royalty, purple power. And that's what I went with yesterday. And hopefully I get that, the destruction machine, the 2021 Hellcat Dodge Ram destruction machine to add to the arsenal in case shit does break down with everything going on in the world. You need a badass truck to run people over with at some point. So that was my day yesterday, guys. We got a super chat here. Pete RR, good to see you. Always, Pete RR, are you vaccinated and which one you got? No, buddy, I'm not. I haven't been sick in 9 years. And I encourage people to make a conscious decision on what they think is going to benefit their lives. I believe in a strong immune system, and it has never failed me. So if you are not confident in your ability to strengthen your immune system, by all means, I think vaccinations are a great option for some people if you choose to get them. But we're not, it is what it is on all that. People are going to make nothing should ever be forced on anybody. My health is my health, your health is your health, and that's the bottom line because the goddamn big guy Ryback said so, to borrow a little quote from Stone Cold. All right, capiche? I think the vertical diet, none of that stuff, man. The meat, no way. I think it's all, I've never felt better in my life. I think that stuff is all, you got to get off that stuff. That stuff is not healthy, and you can build better muscle on a vegan diet and without drugs. So that's that. Take with it what you will. Jose, you've been taking gummy vitamins. Are you 7 years old, Jose? Go get yourself a whole food multivitamin. It's like 3 capsules. We're going to be coming out with one eventually with Feed Me More Nutrition. And take your whole food vitamin. Get rid of the gummies. Jeez. Do you stack those with the Flintstone vitamins as well, pal? I mean, it's a hell of a stack. Getting those those Flintstone vitamins got the artificial sweeteners and colors in them as well. Odd how that works. Yeah, we're going to give you vitamins with poison. Got to think, my man. Wake up. God, I need little noises for the show, like wake up, stupid, for this interactive show. It'd make it way better. I really need to invest more into this show. I just go along with it. I live my life and work, and I'm not really, I'm tech savvy to a degree, but I'm not. Big Bad Panda, thank you for the super chat. Big fan. I greatly appreciate that, man, and appreciate you tuning in and listening to the show. Phil goes, were you on the plane ride from hell? How old do you think I am? I'm in my 30s, man. What do you think? I was on the main roster at like 15 years old? When the hell was that? What year was that? Maybe I was in high school. Maybe I got signed by WWE at 22. So that was well before that. That was in 2004. Yeah, sound effects would be absolutely amazing. I need to get a soundboard that I could just hit the button as I'm going along with this, like just shell shock. When I ban somebody, shell shock. That's finish it. Just a total Mark show for myself. I don't know if the Wake Up Unlimited Energy loses potency leaving it in the fridge. I think anything taking it and I've made my stuff and put it in the fridge and let it get cold and then take it, and I've never noticed anything. So, I mean, the only way I would say is if you do it and you take it on an empty stomach without putting it in the fridge and then try it, leaving it in the fridge and see if you notice a difference in your energy. You need to keep all variables the same. That's why I said on an empty stomach and see how it hits you and see. And if I personally don't think, I think if you left it in your fridge for like a year, or like 3 weeks, or I'm not sure at the rate that ingredients degrade once mixed with H2O. It's not my specialty, my man. I don't know who would be able to answer that for you, quite frankly. You might be hard pressed to do it. I'd check our good friend Google. Check your good friend Google. See what they say. The fact checkers, though, might come at you with it. I don't know. Check what the fact checkers say. They tend to have all the answers. Brazil, what's going on? Beautiful women in your country. Very jealous. Our 10-count creatine, Brandon, is unflavored. It is also enhanced with glycer pump. We give you, I believe, the best bang for your buck value-wise. St. Andy Augustine, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Ryback, do you think you could take a mountain lion 1-versus-1? My friends, he can take a mountain lion, but I think he's very wrong. Look, but by no means am I going to come out of that unscathed. Either I'm going to be torn apart to pieces and die, or I'm losing a limb in the process. That's going to be, what's the game plan going up against the mountain lion? Those things I got to somehow be able to get it in a chokehold without it getting its mouth on any of my body parts, let alone my face or my neck, and then once it rips one of my arms off, if that gets, now I'm bleeding out and I got one arm to get the chokehold on, you can't wrestle a mountain lion, like a normal human. It depends. Do I have any weapons? Is this just man versus man? Am I clothed? Am I naked? Am I wearing jungle clothes? What's the scenario? There's so many variables in this. And I say, clothed or no clothed, then you got to protect the dealio. You don't want that getting ripped off in the process. What's the point of living after that? Like, come on. If you're going to ask a question, man, especially super chat, you got to give me, really think these things through, guys. Come on. Fuck. Great question, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate super chats with ridiculous questions. I'll give you that much. TikTok, everybody, thank you guys. Do I know how to speak a word in Portuguese? I did know a little Portuguese, and I knew a woman that spoke Portuguese, but it's not I don't remember. It was what bom dia? Is it bom dia? Bom dia. Bom dia. Thank you very much for the nice comment on me coming back to wrestling. I'm doing, guys, everything I can, and it's going to happen. I'm not stopping till it happens. I'm so close. It's just a matter of I got to get this shoulder. I got to get this scar tissue. I just got done doing the shockwave machine on my shoulder again, and it's a lot of work. And I've been rolling on the softball. I got to do a bunch of that tonight as well. Joseph, yeah, the difference with brain feed and wake up unlimited energy stacked is amazing. I totally feel the difference with that stack. Yeah, the brain feed stacks really well with that and the shell shock, which reminds me, I forgot to take my last serving of shell shock with my moringa and dandelion capsules. I'm going to take that before I do my feeding time video. And then I get a little bit of red wine, and then I got to go into a fast, and I got my shoulder session tomorrow. I got to drive, go pick up my voucher. The window tint place is actually near where I get my shoulder worked on. So what I'm going to try to do is drop my car off, go get my shoulder done. Maybe have a meal because I'm fasting. Go get my shoulder done. However long that session is, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then go back and wait till my car is done. I want that tint. Otherwise, people will spot me when I'm driving. It happens a lot more than when Brett lights and people will. But if you have that dark tint, it eliminates that. And there's nothing wrong with it, but the dark tint is a necessity these days. Thank you, Suarez, for Eat Chips Daddy. I appreciate that. I do have some prison chips in my kitchen. I was informed about prison chips last week at my signing by a very nice gentleman, and I'm going to be doing a return of not the Ruffles, but Ryback lays a smackdown on prison chips. Something along the lines of that. ASMR, hardcore ASMR. That's the name of the video. Ryback lays the smackdown on prison chips. Hardcore ASMR. That makes just perfect. I'm brilliant. God, I just come up with this stuff on the fly. I'm a creative guy. Who do we need to shell shock? Who's acting out? Who needs to get shell shocked out of Rybackville? Let me take a look. Did I see somebody spamming and I missed? No. The Brazil guy, you're coming a little close. Dark Blade goes, why do you eat so much on your channel? Brother, come back at me with a complete sentence that I can comprehend, and I'll answer that. I don't know how to answer that question. You gotta lay it out for me. You guys, before you type the question, just do a quick little glance over at it. Go, hey, does this make sense? And if it does make sense to you and it still doesn't make sense to me, then we're going to have a bigger issue. But more often than not, I'm hoping you can catch your mistake. Maybe you meant to say meat. I don't know. But I'm not, it's not my job to figure it out. Complete sentences the big guy can comprehend. Gracias, mi amigos. I do look like Mr. Clean, except for that I look like nothing like Mr. Clean, because Mr. Clean didn't have a full, beautiful, dark beard with no gray in it. We're gonna have to, Suarez, we're gonna shell shock you. You clearly don't want to hang out. Yes, in order to gain weight, you want to put on muscle mass, you need to have a caloric surplus. It doesn't need to be crazy. The more over you are, the higher the odds are that you will increase your body fat as well, which is going to happen to a degree, but you can truly minimize that with a really, really clean bulking diet. If you're looking for the best supplements for Feed Me More Nutrition for weight loss, I'm going to say if you do the Wake Up Unlimited Energy pre-workout or energy drink, however you want to take it, the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner, and the Brain Feed, and throw that stack together, eventually the Too Sweet, the labels just got sent out to the manufacturer. So the Too Sweet is going to be coming in very soon. The blood sugar support. I would say either those three or do the Shell Shock too sweet together is going to be a kick-ass fat-burning formula, in which I take that with my first meal, my carb meal in the morning, and every once in a while I'll take it before a carb meal in the afternoon. Absolutely phenomenal products. You're not going to, you'll see for yourself. This is stuff I've been making since I was in my 20s, and they work. And I take the biggest compliment I get. People think I'm this big roid head, and it couldn't be any further from the truth. And it's something that I'm so proud of, that I've been able to do my whole life. And even though I did them mildly from 20 to 24, very mildly, but they did them. So you did them, right? You guys don't understand probably the levels of people that do them to the extremes and doing very minimal amounts, because you do work hard and have good genetics. But it was a piece of shit with an insecure mindset of letting others' insecurities become my own in the wrestling world. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons from it as well. But ever since that, and I've been so really on just health is always my number one life value. Without health, nothing else matters. And I know some people like to think he's this and that. No, if you actually know me, I wish everyone that thought that could live with me and see the way that I eat all the time, and not my cheat meal on Ryback TV, but what I'm doing when the cameras aren't on and behind the scenes. So. Guys, please stop eating bath salts. Thank you. If you were on a plane and huge guys started wrestling, what would you do? I would probably just leave my whatever I was listening to on and continue to like work on my phone. I don't know. I don't think, if two big guys were wrestling and it looked like it was a very dangerous situation that nobody could control, and I thought our lives were in danger of them hitting an emergency exit or something, I would then get involved. But I look at it, my job is to take care of me and my family and protect that at all costs, and I don't care about anything else. I will never sacrifice that for anyone else. But if I think my life is in jeopardy on a situation that I'm going to have to take control over it, then I get involved. That is how my mindset works. I think it's the best mindset to have, because if you don't and you want to be a hero for no reason, and then you end up getting killed, then you literally just told the world that your family didn't mean shit to you, because you were more concerned of being a hero. Care less. Protect myself and those that I love in my family at all cost. YYTT, $100 super chat in whatever currency that is. Just saw WrestleMania, and is that channel you should never make a return. And as per that channel, you should never make a return. Thank you very much. I don't know if that was a compliment or an insult, but thank you. You paid for it. I'm going to be doing a signing in Fayetteville, North Carolina, October 16th and 17th at the Fayetteville Comic Con from 11 to 4 p.m. That is my next appearance. And then I'll be in Harlingen, Texas, November 6th and 7th, right before my birthday, November 10th, at a convention, a pro wrestling convention or a Comic Con in Harlingen, Texas, November 6th and 7th. So those are my next two appearances. Jose said, yeah, bananas and cilantro will help with mood, with the depression, anxiety. Very good for us. Do I prefer bananas whole or sliced? I cut my bananas up when I put them in my fruit bowl in the morning. Trey Clark says, my uncle likes my hands. You look like you come from a great family, my friend. All right, here we go. Now we're good. I've got the shell shocks on speed dial today, guys. Don't worry. Who wins in a fight? The big guy, yourself with a foam finger, or Paul Heyman with a whip? Paul Heyman's not beating anybody. He would be so gassed and tired so quickly. That foam finger would be able to kind of deflect the whip that he would methodically, in as slow as molasses style, would quote unquote bring it. And I would just simply deflect the whip with the foam finger until his poor lung capacity, due to being severely obese and having 3 chins, wore him out. And then I would give him a boot to the gut, eliminating further oxygen from his melted candle body, and then pick him up for a devastating shell shock to finish it. Good to see all of you. You ask the question, I give you the answers. If you don't like them, that's your problem, not mine. Have I ever been knocked out? No, I've never been knocked out. RVD got me with a kick once on Raw, and I screamed the F word out really loud. That was in nothing. I just remember it was really hard. It wasn't, I didn't get my hand. I take the blame because his kicks, you want to get your hands up. And it was that, I think it was a spinning kick off the second rope. There's probably on YouTube. You'd probably find it somewhere. They censored it. They bleeped it out. I literally got hit and it was so hard. And I think I was mad because I think it rocked me. And I just went, like screamed. And it wasn't mad at Rob. I love Rob. Rob is such a great guy. He said, I had so much fun wrestling him. And that happens. But I was mad at myself that like something actually kind of rocked me. That's why I do the neck machine. It's like a shock absorber. I think if I didn't do the neck machine and I had the neck of an average man, that might have knocked me out. India, what's going on? Okay, I don't think Paul Heyman has ever been in normal shape. I do think when he was younger, he might have been slimmer, but I guarantee you we don't want to see that naked body at any stage of his life, at any stage, especially now. I don't know. Maybe there's some weird wrestling fans that would. I'm pretty sure they would. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, man, saying I was the coolest. I was very grateful for everything. A lot of great times. Great reactions for years. And I look forward to getting back and looking better than I've ever looked, and having the real run that Ryback can have. Good to see all of you guys. Jose, definitely check out the GTS. Go to sleep if you have issues. I'm telling you, this stuff works. I take it an hour before bed. I created that while on the road because I was taking Benadryl and NyQuil every night to go to bed. And I knew, one, it was unhealthy doing that for years on end. And 2, which is why I made the switch, I woke up hungover every morning because I would have to take more and more to get to knock myself out. And I would always drink a cup of coffee on the rides because I drove by myself to listen to business books every night. So give me 1 second. We're gonna another shell shock there. I'm drinking a decaf Newman's Own organic decaf coffee. I got to tell you, it's the best decaf coffee I've ever had. That Newman's Own, that Newman guy, the dressings I told you guys the other day, they make a hell of a salad dressing. They also make a hell of a decaf coffee. Todd says, how did Miro lose to Sammy? That is pro wrestling and storytelling, and that is pro wrestling. People win and people lose. I think oftentimes fans get too caught up in the pro wrestling booking, and it's all it is completely okay to lose as long as you're being looked and you get back on track and you're booked and you're in creative storylines. Like I don't know what else. Like people, how do you guys think? I'm going to just ask you this: what do you say to all the Sammy fans that love Sammy? They're happy he won. Enjoy physical acting at its finest of pro wrestling and storytelling. It's not the UFC. And even in the UFC, people lose and they come back and they could win and get back on track. It's pro wrestling, guys. I want fans to, it's physical acting. Don't get caught up in if a guy loses a match thinking they're getting buried every single time, especially in AEW. That organization is nothing like WWE. So stop comparing them in that sense and just enjoy the product. Just enjoy it. But if you don't, that's your problem, not mine. Not saying you don't enjoy it, but it's physical acting, man. That's pro wrestling. It always has been. It always will be. Go back and look how many times The Rock lost in his career, but he always got back on track and was involved in big storylines, right? And won big matches at different times, more than he lost or equal. You don't have to win every time. You don't have to lose every time. As long as there's a balance of winning at the right times, your career, it's a great career. I'm not a big fan of reality TV because reality TV is the majority of the time, from what I've seen, the most scripted TV. I will say though, I sent Cody a message the other day. I enjoyed the Roads to the Top with them. I thought that came off very, and just knowing him and Brandy a little bit, and knowing I think that show came off a little more genuine. And not being a WWE production, but I know a lot of the reality TV in general, not even WWE, it's all so scripted. And I know that especially like Total Divas and all that. They asked me to do that and wanted to date one of the divas, and it was like, that's not even real. So we're gonna do a fake relationship and like no. And I want my days off. It's crazy. But I enjoyed the Cody. That came off a lot better than a lot of them, I thought. From knowing them and knowing what they were showing, it didn't seem forced at anything point that I saw. Hey, Brian R. Ryback, you just got drafted to SmackDown. No, thank you. No, thank you. Pass. That popped me. That was a good super chat right there, bud. I'm not making an OnlyFans right now. I would never make one and show nudity or anything like that. That would be, no. If you've been diagnosed with diabetes, check out Moringa, Moringa. Get organic Moringa pills on Amazon, and then you can pre-order it now. It'll be in the next few weeks. Our Too Sweet blood sugar support on feedmemore.com with Feed Me More Nutrition. You will be very happy with those two products. Good to see all of you guys. I'm waiting for my food. I've got Nacho Daddy being delivered for a feeding time. Eating vegan nachos and a vegan chicken quesadilla mukbang. Before I have a little wine and then go into a 24-hour fast. Maybe even 36, depending on how it goes. Ryback on Total Divas fake crying about a breakup would be A+ TV. I got to say, I think I would shine very bright on that when people seeing my real personality. But I don't think the problem is I won't be able to fake the stuff. Me and the div, I'd probably end up getting her pregnant at some point during the show, and then there'd be like real drama. Then I get caught like cheating with another like 3 divas, and it's like because I'm like just so wrapped up in the show now, and I'm getting all the attention. Ego would get out of control. Then I probably like knock up 4 of them, and then I've got to like ask for a raise from Vince to be able to take care of the kids from 4 different divas. A lot of drama. Best I don't even get caught up in it. Total Big Guys. That's another. That would be I would do that, then have to go on to my own spinoff show, Total Big Guys. Me, Lashley. Who's there now that's still big? Me, Lashley. Who's another muscular big guy there? Me, Lashley. Maybe it's just me and Lashley, total big guys. Nick, the show gets thousands of viewers. It's only people that get notified during a live. So, brother, you do what we do, right? One less viewer with you. It's crazy. I blocked you, yet the number doesn't go down. Number went up to 94, Nick. So you'll never get to see that, though. So Shell Shock and Too Sweet. Yep, my man. I promise you, you will definitely like that combo. And I would get Moringa powder on Amazon as well. Well, Derek, you've been single for a lifetime, never had a girlfriend. Well, I hope you eventually you do get a girlfriend and you're very happy, my man. If there's things you got to work on yourself, if you're out of shape and you got to get in better shape, fix the root of the problem, right? And go get yourself a beautiful girlfriend. Total big guy sounds like an OnlyFans episode. Could be. The benefits of my fast, I do it is to get rid of inflammation in my body, which helps me break up further scar tissue. That's why I go see my therapist every week while I'm fasting. And then it also is really good for fat loss and drop a little bit of body water. But I always lose a tad bit of fat every time. And I've just continued to get in better and better shape every week. So I am going to look into putting Moringa in something. I don't know what yet, because we're like a lot of the formulas we have are maxed out on that. And then like the Moringa would go really good. Moringa would go well in Shell Shock or go well with the Too Sweet. I would only put it in one of them on that. And the problem is it's going to up the capsule count. I don't want to up the capsule count on Shell Shock. And Too Sweet, I could look into, like, that one's just coming out. I could look into adding that in a future one, but it's really gonna up the capsule count by 1 or 2 capsules with the amount that we'd have to use. So I'm a little bit of a crossroads with that. I'll have to see if I can come up with a new formula with that, with a different product that Moringa has the benefits for, on top of the benefits that it has for blood sugar and for fat loss already. Now, the Too Sweet is an insulin optimizer, glucose support. It's really good to take with your carbohydrate meals. We recommend taking it 1 to 2 times a day. I take it always with my first morning meal before I have my sugars and my fruit. It helps you essentially use the carbohydrates more efficiently. It's a blood sugar support so that your insulin doesn't spike. And we use clinically researched, proven ingredients in that. And I say more than any other company on that. It is a kick-ass supplement. You guys are going to like it. And my body has gotten better since implementing that this year into the diet. Man of Steel, good to see you, my man. Always good time when you're here. Thank you. I got to get more Ryback shows. I only got 2 this week, and I got to see if I can get some this weekend. What do I do for a living? I own Feed Me More Nutrition, which is my natural supplement line, available on feedmemore.com and Amazon as well. But the discounts, Ryback Show 20, Ryback Show 20, available exclusively on feedmemore.com. I could sit around and eat chips and dip and drink all day long if I wanted to make money. But that is, and I have all my social media. I do content. I do a lot of marketing. I have a marketing company that does all my supplement advertising as well. And then my job is to get as many sales per day on my supplement line that I have a fulfillment company in Illinois with a customer service, and produce as much content as humanly possible and continue to learn to generate new customers, keep existing customers happy, and grow my social media while being simultaneously paid through various revenue streams for the social media channels, which all ties into the supplements. So, and then on top of that, going to go back and be one of the best pro wrestlers that have ever lived. The goal is to have 1, 2. What am I forgetting? The goal is to have 3 immediate multi-million-dollar revenue streams when I go back to wrestling, and then soon a 4th with a couple other things that will make it a fourth of them working together. But 3 very like almost upon arrival sort of deal. A lot of groundwork, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into building the foundation and the system that I have now that is continuing to grow even while all my socials being suppressed, but will really, really rise when I'm back on TV. My next book, I have my book on my autobiography that for wrestling and my life up until I come back to wrestling. And then I've got a book for social media that I want to do as well. I've been to many parts of Candy. All right, buddy. Love from India. We got you, buddy. We're going to shell shock you though. Back to India. I ask you not to spam the chat, guys. I love Brazil as well. Thank you very much. You guys, I ask that you reserve the chats for legitimate questions, not saying, hey, no spam, things like that, because you are contributing to the spam when you do that. Push-ups versus bench press, what is the better exercise? I think I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that has bad shoulders solely from doing push-ups. That said, I love the bench press. I think if you learn to bench with proper technique, which many don't, and I didn't certainly for many years, you put added strain onto your shoulder. It can have a lot of, there's so many people that end up and just break their body down and where they can never come back from, which obviously happened to me with wrestling, and my injuries on the cortisone is what caused the drug. Cortisone being given to me is what caused my problems. It wasn't, I had scar tissue before. The cortisone is what really, really hurt that. And I continued to train when I needed to address other things, but it is what it is on that. But I think both used in a combination. I love doing push-ups on the Bosu ball. I love doing regular push-ups. I love doing variations of push-ups. And I also love doing the different variations of bench press as well. Do I have any law of attraction techniques? I mean, there's positive affirmations and reminders. I got them all around my house. Work hard and be nice to people. Good reminder to say to yourself, it is what it is, and I'll make the most of it. That's something, the rent is due. What is the damn rent? Success is never owned, it's rented, and the rent is due every day. But I always just kind of keep in my head the rent's due. That's just how the rent's due. And I every day, I gotta do the work. Ask, believe, work, receive. Law of attraction will say ask, believe, receive. It's ask, believe, work, receive. You need work in there. A lot of people don't understand that aspect. I always have, but it's good. Ask, believe, work, receive. That may be the most fitting for what you're asking in the law of attraction. And you say, well, Ryback, how do I work? And I'd go, well, you'll know what work you need to do if you know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, that's a question you have to answer, ask, and get the answer to. I cannot help you with that. Robert, good to see you, my man. Alan Reese, LOL. How often do you fast? Once a week, 24 hours. And then I try to push it a few times a year in that 48 to 72. I would like to break my 72-hour record. I have not done that in a while. And I will say fasting, since I've switched to vegan, and I feel like my metabolism is faster, it tends to be a little more difficult, but also my life is a lot different in the things that I'm doing than when I set that record a couple years ago. So. That's a good question, buddy. Yikes. The lack of knowledge from certain wrestling fans is Quite concerning. Let's see what other good questions. Hello. TikTok, we got any good questions over on TikTok? We got a super chat here. Homemade weapon. What's up, big guy? Doing well, my man. Would you walk away if upon your return you find your love for performing wrestling wise has moved on to other ventures completely? No. And by the way, so I don't believe you don't even, I love wrestling. I love so many aspects of it. But also, so this is a big, I'm always fascinated by people that don't understand this. I could hate pro wrestling if I wanted and go back and excel at it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to love what you do in life to be successful at anything. I could absolutely hate pro football and say I was a fantastic running back or middle linebacker. And still, as long as I have pride and passion in me and my performance and putting in the work that I do, you can excel at that. You don't have to love that. See, that's the big problem. You don't just hire people based off their love of something. You hire people based off of their ability to do the job at hand and draw and get money and things, right? I love pro wrestling, though. So that's not even something that's even of a concern to me. Because I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't be working to get my health back to go back, right? I would just continue making money, and I wouldn't waste my time to the degree that I am of getting myself in tip-top shape. So not even of a concern. Bo Jackson was a machine, man. He was one of my favorites growing up. Absolutely love Bo Jackson. I remember my middle school, R.O. Gibson, our science class, our teacher had a bunch of positive stuff in there. And there was that we had the framed poster of Bo Jackson, I think wearing the shoulder pads and with the baseball bat, the black and white one. Man, what an iconic. I need to get that for my house just to remind me, because I always used to love that. That image of him. I think all steroids are bad, Kevin. I don't think anything outside of TRT and for medicinal use. They're do I watch horror movies? Not a lot, but I will say last night after I got home and I made my food, I had the dogs. Friday the 13th, I think part 1 was on, and then part 2 might have came on. I watched the beginning of part 2, and I hadn't seen that in forever. And man, what great movies those were. I think Kenny Omega's doing great, guys. I enjoy watching the segments he's in. But I just watched their show, and I think they're doing a great job. And if I wasn't something I don't enjoy, I don't watch it. But I don't. I enjoy Wednesdays are the new Mondays for me, excitement wise. What else do we got going on? Good to see all of you. How effective is spicy food in increasing metabolism? Well, if you're things like cayenne pepper is we use that in the Shell Shock Extreme fat burner, and I think eating spicier peppers with the capsaicin. But again, it's you don't ever want to go too extreme on those things, but they do increase your metabolism with that. And to what degree, I don't, I think in a combination, that's why we use a combination of ingredients in the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner. The only real way to get the true for you is consuming them with your meals, how much ever that is, and tracking your calories and seeing if you see a visible difference in your body fat levels with that. I don't enjoy, though, the sweating and all that from the hot foods and capsaicin or the cayenne pepper, putting a few sprinkles of that on my meals. I don't get that at all. So, and then we use ginger with the Shell Shock so you don't get any heat, you don't get the burn or anything like that. I didn't see. Opinion on RVD. Listen to the beginning of the show. We just talked about it. There was a question that concerns him, but I love Rob. He's always a pleasure. All right, guys. I got a notification here. I'm gonna have to go knock out a feeding time video with my Nacho Daddy vegan nachos and chicken quesadilla. That will probably be up on Monday morning on Ryback TV. If you're watching on TikTok, please subscribe. Ryback TV on YouTube. The Ryback Show available on all podcast platforms. And check out my supplement line, Feed Me More Nutrition, where you can save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20, RYBACKSHOW20 on feedmemore.com. Premium supplement sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for men and women. We started with 3 supplements and we're up to 13 because of you guys. And I can't say thank you enough. And the greatest way for you to show your love and support is to support Feed Me More Nutrition. And I'm getting messages now. So with that, guys, we got to wrap up today's show. I thank you as always for listening. Enjoy wrestling if you're watching it tonight. Have a safe, great weekend. Hopefully get on for 1 or 2 more streams before Monday. And if not, we will be back Monday. Have a good one, my friends. Stay hungry. Feed me more.